I just jumped off a session and I had to share the amazing transformation that I had with this beautiful woman. This was one of the most powerful sessions I think I've ever had. And I felt so honored to be able to facilitate this amazing change for her.
This is the same feeling I had when Jake was in NICU and he was finally breathing on his own. Just all that release. It's huge.
So we did a session based around how this lady feels about herself. And she had such a bad self-image and self-confidence just about who she was and who she saw in the mirror and how she felt about herself. So this transformation was absolutely incredible and I wanted to share it. So I identified a few things that she really felt when she thought about herself and how she felt about herself. So the things that I identified that were an issue for her that was keeping her feeling this way were, I hate myself. And I hate myself, she's been carrying for, she said, about 40 years. She also, when she compared herself to others that were the same body shape as her and they were just out confidently, dyeing their hair and wearing amazing things, she would look at herself and compare them to her and feel that was just not that brave. So that was another thing that I identified that we worked on, because she could see and appreciate people for who they were, but she couldn't see and appreciate herself for who she was. And she would dress in black and not accentuate anything and not dress in color because she was so worried about being able to hide, and she just wanted to hide her body and hide herself. And the other one that we worked on today was the feeling that she got when she felt about herself, which was feeling disgusted. And to be able to acknowledge that that's how you feel about yourself is a big deal for anyone, for themselves, but it's another thing to share it with someone. So the trust that I have in a confidential place to be able to truly listen with no judgment allows a woman to feel and acknowledge how she sees herself and what's going on for her. But then the process that we do means that they don't have to dredge up and go into the stories. Once I identify what we're working with, she doesn't have to go in and dig for what's going on and tell the stories over and again and bring the feelings up over and over again. The process and the therapy that I use doesn't go into her story. It's actually got nothing to do with her. And so I wanted to share what we did. So the transformation that we had before and after was absolutely incredible. So before I jump in with a client, what I do is I get them in a trigger scenario, which is thinking of a time where there'd be no other option but for them to actually feel or believe this thing. What they come up with the scenario of what they'd be doing, who they'd be around, where they would be feeling this way. So the scenario that she came up with was she was standing there staring at herself in the mirror. And she had no other option but to be feeling and believing, I hate myself. So before, what she was focused on was her stomach and her flaws. And then after the process, she's focused on how good I'm looking. And then before, she was caring about covering herself up, how she could cover up herself and her body. And then afterwards, she was caring about how pretty she looked in the dress that she was wearing. Before, she was believing, I'm ugly. And after, she was believing that she felt comfortable and confident. Before, she was believing about the situation that she didn't know how she let herself get like that. And then afterwards, she just said, there is no situation, which was just incredible to hear, that the same situation, her thinking about it now in the future, does not trigger her. It doesn't feel like an issue. It doesn't feel like a situation. It's nothing that triggers a negative emotion for her anymore. Before, she was thinking, I don't like what I see, I hate what I'm looking at, and I'm disgusted in myself. Afterwards, she was thinking that she was heading out to dinner with some girlfriends and she can't wait to catch up with them. Before, she was really hating herself and hating what she looked like. And now she's doing a little twirl in her dress in front of the mirror. She had a heavy chest before we started, a sunken stomach, and a really tight throat. And afterwards, she was feeling nothing in her body. She rated the intensity of I hate myself 100 out of 10. The tears and the release that she experienced was something I'll never forget. The release that she had was absolutely incredible. She said she's carried this her entire life. She was letting herself just cry it out. And she went out and was dancing in the rain. And she sent me a photo of herself dancing in the rain, letting it all wash over her. And she said that's something that she would have never even thought to do, never had the confidence to do. And she just felt so free. This is not something that goes away. This is irreversible. This is, I get to hang on to this forever. I get to let go of the hate for my body. I get to love myself. I get to keep that feeling, and it never changes. So that's the irreversible healing of beliefs and feelings that we carry about ourselves, our self-image, our self-worth, our self-confidence, to truly change it. And that's why this is so incredible, so life-changing. And she's freed herself from her body image issues for the rest of her life.
Yeah, I got rid of 40 years of hating myself. Honestly, it's priceless. Shit, I'm gonna cry again. Pouring rain outside, and you know what? I'm gonna go stand out in it and let it all wash away. I remember doing that once when I was a kid, standing out in the rain and just, yeah, I don't know what it was that had happened, but I just remember that feeling of standing in the rain and feeling free. So I'm so gonna do that.
If you relate to this, if you have negative feelings about yourself and your self-image, and you want to feel confident and comfortable when you look in the mirror or you see yourself in a photo, this can help. It's just down to if it's something that you really want to change and believe can change. You know, it sounds like it's too good to be true. And honestly, it still does for me. It amazes me every single day that I do this stuff. But this is what I'm passionate about. And I am there for you. And I guarantee that I can help you if you are ready and if you are right for the process. And if you back yourself in and you're ready for change, I'm there for you. Because change is possible.